great to see.
That's got to be like some pride for the program when you have those players hitting those milestones and making a name like for themselves, but the UND program too.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I think everybody attributes our program for NHL draft picks that come through here and develop and go on. But guys like Cole Smith and Drake Caggiula and some of these guys that were free agents to establish a career. It pretty proud of that. As far as guys that had to obviously keep working their way up and get to where they need to go. And yeah, that's good. And last night when I was watching that game, they had Cole Smith, Brock Besser, and then Christian Wolanin. And I thought Wolanin played really well last night too.
What are your thoughts on? It's almost the end of the season, and you haven't seen CC yet. What are your thoughts on playing them for the first time?
Yeah, that's a little obscure as far as how that goes. Unbalanced schedule too. It only presents our. Usually we play those guys 4 times a year, and now it's only 2, and it's late in the year. But no, we've been watching them from afar. I've watched all their most recent games, and I know they haven't been getting the result they wanted. But man, they pressed Western hard in Western. They played really well there. They don't give up a whole lot either, and they're well structured. They're getting really good goaltending, and they're playing fast brand of hockey. So again, we're gonna have to make sure we're ready for that, and play the way we did here last weekend against St. Cloud.
How do you carry that over to this weekend?
Yeah, just there's a couple things that go into it at this time of year. I think first of all, keeping your foot on the gas in practice as far as the details and habits that you have to translate into the weekend, but also rest and energy too. We've given our guys, last week, just before the weekend, we gave our guys 1 day off mentally and physically, and I thought that helped a lot of guys that had hard heavy minutes throughout the season, and we did that as well this week here too. So it's one of those situations where I know you have to keep working on things and getting better, but the other part for us is energy level, especially playing 2 hard games on a weekend here. So that's probably one way.
How do you guys decide when you need to take a day off or things like that?
Yeah, we believe as far as travel, and again how you played on the weekend as well. If you need to get after things right away early in the week and not let those things drag on, and for example, coming back from Denver, we got back late on Sunday morning, and obviously Sunday's a day off, but we got right back on the ice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and first time in a long time we gave guys Thursday off and then had a morning skate on Friday, and I thought that helped with our energy level. And this week here we practiced Monday, Tuesday. Today on Wednesday we got our guys a day off. Now we'll travel, and now we'll go into Colorado Springs, and we'll practice on Thursday and Friday morning here. So I think it depends on your travel schedule and things you need to get to address right away.
What do guys like Gavin Hain and Mark send him in your program? Like, where would you be maybe if you didn't have these guys?
Well, that's a great question, and first of all, they're excellent human beings on and off the ice. They do things the right way, and leadership's a big thing. And obviously, it's been a little inconsistent with the results we've been getting this year from game to game. But these guys are strong and steady on their message and what it takes to play in our culture. And I think that's the biggest thing is passing that on to the young guys, whether it's the freshmen that are coming in here or whether it's the sophomores that are, going into their second year and going through some difficult times here, and just kind of relaying that information on what it takes to play here and the type of people we want here and how we play and what our identity is. So it's such a big thing to have them here throughout the season in their 5th year.
What are some elements that Jackson Kunz needs to be doing to play at the top of his game?
Well, I think you're seeing him play faster now. Like, he's playing a faster brand of hockey. His feet are moving. He's become a guy that's, he's a bigger body, and sometimes when you're smaller body, you look quicker out there. And when you're a bigger body, I think it's one of those things you just got to keep your feet moving, whether it's in the defensive zone, breaking a puck out, or on the forecheck. He's getting the pucks now, and he's getting around it, and he's playing with a lot higher intensity, and you're seeing that in his game. And I thought that Jammernick Kunz James line was very good for us this past weekend, and I just think he's invigorated in his play, and I think that's a huge part of it. And then again, when you get to net front, it's tough to control a big body like that. He's got a strong body. He's heavy in front of the net, and he's got really strong, quick hands. And obviously he scores a lot of goals from that area.
Yeah, it does seem like he's one of those guys that has the knack to score when things are going left. It feels like some guys have that, some guys don't.
Yeah, 100%, and I think it's just his quick, strong hands. They're strong to begin with, but they're quick too. And it's one of those things when you go into those great areas in front of the net. Those are the tough areas to play, and a lot of times you get hooked, held, grabbed, whatever. At the end of the day, he has a way of being, first of all, strong, but also quick, and that's a big thing with good goaltenders. If you have quick hands, it's all about getting the puck on the net quicker than the goaltender making a reactionary save.
Ron, he's one of your better guys in the offensive zone. What has he got to improve on the other side to play all the time?
I think just to play away from the puck, through the neutral zone, through the defensive zone, and it's not like he's egregiously weak at it. It's just that one of those things where when you're playing in your end of the rink, positionally you have to be in a good spot, and then from there, like once you see a 50-50 puck, you got to get to it right away and advance a puck, and I think he's getting better at it. But again, like I said, I think all the way up when he was in youth hockey, he was always the biggest, strongest guy. Dominated that level. Went into Shattuck, dominated at the youth hockey level there, and then he went into Green Bay and had a good year there in Green Bay. But as you go up the pyramid of hockey and how tough it gets, it's how you try to invest in yourself and keep getting better. He's done a better job of investing in himself this year on trying to get to where he needs to go.
What does it say about your team how they're able to adjust to the line changes at this point of the season?
As far as the line combinations?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, for sure. It's been one of those years where, believe me, you try to have some consistency with your group, but I think it helps you down the road too, because a lot of guys have played with different players, and I think at the end of the day, if you are on a line, you're probably used to playing with that guy once or twice before during the season here, and guys are smart and they're adaptive enough to know that whether you're playing left wing, you should be able to play right wing, and I think it only helps their careers, but also for us here too. Like, we're trying to establish some consistency, as you saw over the last couple of weeks with line combinations.
Louis Jamernick, kind of a big piece of that going down to the fourth line. It seemed like he was really gelled with Kunz and James.
Yeah, well, the first thing I said to that line is, you're not the fourth line, and again, I'm glad you brought that up. Like, I think we're at a point now where, when you look at Louis Jamernick on that line, like, he's a really good player, and you look at his line mates, they're really good players, and that's not a typical fourth line. And, we roll four lines as a team for the most part until late in games, but at the end of the day, if you can have that depth, if you can say that's your fourth line, man, you got a lot of depth, and at the end of the day, these guys, they get pretty equal ice time until specialty teams come around, and at the end of the day, we're looking for that line to make an impact this weekend.
Do you feel like, obviously in all your years at NCHC, they say any team can win on any given night, but this year maybe feels a little bit more amplified, especially with what CC's done?
100%, yeah, for sure. Like, it doesn't matter us going into CC, Denver and I believe Western are playing. It's a situation where each and every weekend, the 8 teams that are playing each other here, it's up for grabs. And, we brought a pretty good brand of hockey at home this weekend. We got an overtime win and we got a tie. We feel like we should have had a couple of wins, but it doesn't guarantee you success the next weekend. And it's a situation where we have to go and earn that in Colorado Springs, and always a tough place to play with altitude and a team that usually plays well at home. So again, like I said, Friday night's going to be a big deal. And Bill Chaves brought up a great term, Bill Walsh term with the San Francisco 49ers. You keep playing that way, the result takes care of itself. So again, like I said, at the end of the day, we got to make sure that we keep playing, and hopefully the result will take care of itself.
Kind of has to make you feel good, though. I know it was an overtime win and a tie, but just with what this team has gone through the last few weeks, you have to be feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, well, again, feeling pretty good is one thing, but we want to feel good after the Colorado College series, and again, we've got some hunger. That we've got some things to prove. Out there right now, we're fighting for our lives, and I know our players feel that way. And I think Ethan Frisch brought up the other day about playing North Dakota hockey, and that's what it was this past weekend, and we have to keep bringing it that way.
When you pick your lines, how much does analytics play to that?
Well, a little bit, but I guess it's kind of getting a feel for who complements each other on a line, and like obviously we started with McLaughlin and Gaber, and then we added Blake late in the third period on both nights, and that seemed to help a little bit too. But at the end of the day, I think it's we always try to build our lines through tandems with two guys, and then trying to put a good third complementary guy on that line, and that's an old Jacques Lemaire strategy as far as doing it and having success with it. But at the end of the day, there is something to be said about consistency and letting guys play together here a little bit.
All right, thank you.
Good, thank you.